up, guys? Well, welcome to apparently another Howler Days vlog. If I'd known that this was going to be a thing that I did every now and then, I think I would have called it Squeak Days. But come on, we got enough bad puns going on in the world. So anyway, we're just going to shoot the breeze, see what's going on the last couple of weeks, day or two. Is there anything worth talking about? Considering that this is the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. And thanks to Facebook, I found out this is also the 25th anniversary of Mystery Science Theater 3000, which I was just like, well, that's just freaking awesome. I mean, that's a great weekend. And it was amazing, man, because like over the past 2 weeks, I've been kind of telling people when and where on the internet they can watch the Doctor Who anniversary special. And went out of town Friday night, just one of my little road trips more or less, and was going to get back home on Saturday to watch the 50th anniversary special, and the planets aligned like a bad 80s comedy movie, and ended up pretty sure I was going to miss it. But I looked up, they were looping it all day long, and I got home and I got to watch it twice, and it was freaking amazing. There's all kinds of, Matt on Comics, I want to give him a big shout out. We've kind of been talking on Facebook a little bit, stuff, little comments here and there. We're going to try to do a podcast. I was going to try to do it last week, and couldn't get the Google Plus to work right. I don't think you know what I'm saying if you even played around with it the last couple of weeks. But give him a big shout out, man. Him and the second wave of British Invasion boys got on there, and they had one American, I think, which no big deal. But I mean, it was kind of cool that it's international. It is Doctor Who. It set a world record for the most. What was it? The most broadcasted simulcast or whatever it was. Anyway, it set a record because they did something cool, and so many people wanted to watch it in theaters and in home, and so people got to watch it in 3D. But anyway, those guys did a drunken podcast, is what they call it, on Matt on Comics channel, which was just, I'm watching it in bits and pieces, man. And those guys were so excited, and everybody had their sonic screwdrivers out, and they were laughing, and it was just a good time to go watch it. Hopefully Matt and I will have our stars aligned where, we can do a podcast together, or he says I have an open invitation to the Drunken Podcast, which thank you very much. So I'll probably love to do that. So, geeked out over that. And then after that, I could not sleep. I was freaking wore out. I've just, been driving around for 2 days and stayed in a cheap motel and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, I couldn't sleep, so I started playing around, and on Netflix I ended up finding the greatest Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode ever, which I cannot, it's just so cool. I think there's like 196, 198 of those, where they take bad movies and, rip through them with little jokes and skits and stuff all the way through it. And it was called Gamera versus Gyrion, I think it's what it was, and I just ended up almost starting to do a play-by-play on Facebook and Twitter, or I don't know if you should have on Twitter, but Facebook, as I was watching it. I was like deliriously tired. It was midnight here where I'm at, and this is rolling, man, just rolling. Oh my gosh, I've never seen one so funny. It's one of their earlier ones too, and I think it was like from season 3 that they did it, but I think it goes back all the way to where they were like in the little station in Minnesota or wherever they're from. And I think it was one of the original ones, and they sort of redid it. So it kind of makes sense why that thing was so funny, because they'd already done it before and had some jokes in the script, and then they were probably able to fine-tune it. That's neither here nor there. So that makes for a great weekend. Went to a comic book shop last weekend, and I saw something that really disturbed me, comic book-wise, and just in general. I'll just tell you the story, and you can come to your own conclusion. But I think I've always been a people watcher. I'm really introverted. I do better with a crowd of people than one-on-one and that kind of thing, And, me and my buddy, he and his wife took me. We all went down to Winston-Salem. They were driving. We hit the comic book shop they have down there. Not the greatest comic book shop, but it's there, So, I walk in, and we start looking around, and I find these boxes where they got 6 comics for $10 and stuff like that. And we're just looking around, and I look over, man, and the guy who runs the place is sitting there talking to this another guy. And this guy who had a stack of comics, he was trying to sell it to him. And where I was standing, they were right in front of me. The guy that brought the comics in just looked real disheveled. Messed up hair, hoodie, dirty shirt, dirty jeans, looked like he hadn't shaved in a couple of days. It even looked like he'd been asleep, And I'm not going to lie, man. I mean, maybe the guy was on drugs, strung out. Maybe he stole the comics. Maybe he was just on hard times. I'm not going to judge. but it was the way that the comic book dealer was talking to him. And he was going through the books right in front of me. It's like his back was to me. The guy trying to sell them, and the guy sitting there like, man, I need gas money. I need gas money. I just want to get to work, man. You got to buy these. He's like, I don't know. I don't want to buy a lot of stuff. I can't move stuff. This isn't even demand and stuff. And here's what he had, okay? Here's what he had, all right? This is what he was telling him he wouldn't be able to move. He had the Frank Miller, Chris Claremont 4-issue miniseries, and he's flipping through there. He had the first, I won't blank what the number is. He had the first couple of issues of Jim Starlin on Adam Warlock. Okay, I think it was like Strange Tales, Strange Adventures. I can't believe I'm going blank now. But anyway, he had those. I recognized the covers. And then he got down to what I would have loved. I was going to meet the guy in the parking lot, since this guy was sitting here saying he wasn't going to buy them. But he had the, it's around the issues 15 and up. I know it was Gil Kane and I think Roy Thomas on stuff of Captain Marvel. This is like Bronze Age cosmic stuff. Frank Miller, Wolverine, and everything like that. And the guy's sitting there like, oh man, I don't even know if I'm going to move these. He's like, well, I'll give you $50. And that's still too much. And the guy's like, oh, I just need to be getting to work. So he hands him $50. That first freaking issue of Wolverine would have brought the guy $50, probably on freaking eBay or something, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy off this guy. So I'm sitting there and I'm flipping through them, and I buy some books, and I just don't know if I'm going to go back. None of my business. The guy's got to run a business. And, you know, he's just, wow, just super shady. And he just had this thing like, you know, you could tell he's definitely in it for the money, and he's got this look in his eye like everything's worth a fortune. Everything that he has is a treasure, you know, like money-wise, you know. Just, oh, I don't know. I don't think he knows the first thing about comics, but I think he knows what to overprice and stuff and what to move. So, I mean, I know it's a business, but wow. Hate seeing that kind of stuff, and something I think is kind of funny. Then some other news that came out was, and this one bothers me. This one bothers me, okay? I've seen costume changes. I've seen heroes replaced by, you know, younger versions of the heroes, you know. I was around when Hal Jordan went nuts, and, you know, they brought in Kyle Rayner, and Wonder Woman got replaced by Artemis, and Peter Parker was replaced by Dr. Octopus. So I've been there. And I was around when Aquaman got his costume changed from the green and orange to the camouflage blue, which I'm not going to lie, I liked. I mean, it was the 80s, and you know, all kinds of costume changes. Spider-Man's costume changes, Iron Man's costume changes. You know, a lot of people, even that god-awful Captain America armor that he wore, in the Ron Lim, Mark Grunwald days, just wow. He even got turned into a werewolf. So, I mean, I've seen it all go down. No biggie. You know, get your attention. You're just like, in the Superman costume changes, the mullet, the red and blue lightning stuff. Don't let Dan Jurgens design a costume for anybody ever. But moving on, I'm not going to get into Booster Gold, the goggles. Anyway, but this was about the Fantastic Four. Okay, I love my Fantastic Four. See how he looks off into the distance, very introspective. This man, this monster. See his blue and black. You know, and who doesn't love the Fantastic Four? I mean, a lot of people were like, you know, if you have Superman for DC, you have Spider-Man, you know, for Marvel, you know, the big guys. But to me, the Thing, Ben Grimm, is the one that really epitomizes what Marvel is. They were the ones that they came in and all their heroes were flawed or had some kind of big personality thing. They had angst and everything like that. And the Thing was sort of like their back door in case the superhero thing didn't work out in 61 when they started out here. Oh no, it's not a superhero book, it's a monster book. You know. So we've had the great blue-eyed Thing. He had the personality like nobody had ever seen. And referred to his blue eyes, and we knew about his aunt. We knew about Yancey Street. You know, and we know about Clobber in Time, you know. So, you know, Thing's probably my favorite Marvel character, you know, because to me he is what Marvel is all about, or used to be about, you know, and they've, you know, kind of lost that. Alright, and, you know, they've been around in cartoons and, you know, 2 god-awful movies, and bless their hearts, they got the Silver Surfer right, but that's about it, you know. And they had a cartoon in the 90s, the first season is god-awful, then all of a sudden they brought in John Mishima and some other people, and second season of this cartoon is just fantastic. It's wonderful. Ego the Living Planet and Inhumans. Oh my God, they got Black Bolt and Inhumans right, and it was just so good. You know, Thor and the Ego versus the Living Planet pops up, and just so much in here. So, you know, and they had the cartoon in the 70s. I watched the Jack Kirby Stan Lee, and I can just reminisce all the time. And then this company came out called Pixar, and a guy named Brad Bird. You need to look up, man, because there's a lot of great animators and cartoon guys that are kind of like underneath the radar, even though you know, popularity wise, but you know their work. And he came out with this fantastic. He did the Iron Giant. Before that, he was on Animal Olympics back in 1980, and everybody that came out of this cartoon called Animal Olympics went on to work for Disney and brought us the Lion King. And you get the Brad Bird. He brought us the Iron Giant, and I wish I'd pulled out my DVD. And then he came out with this fantastic. They finally did it with Pixar, man. I think it was like 2004, 2005. I'm sitting in the theater, and this trailer comes on, and all of a sudden, man, it's the Incredibles trailer. All right, I love the Incredibles. Now, this Incredibles, you know, harkens back to the '60s, man. It's got shades of Johnny Quest, shades of those great, you know, spy movies from the '60s, and it's a riff on the Fantastic Four, but it's a love letter. Okay. Now, I mentioned the Fantastic Four movie, you know, that came out in the mid-2000s. Well, they had to go back and do rewrites, and I heard reshoots because the Incredibles actually got more right about the Fantastic Four, just telling a straight-on superhero story, than it did the Fantastic Four did. And they had to go back and do rewrites because the Incredibles showed them up. They tried to say that the Incredibles had stuff mirroring what happened in their movie, but the ending was so big and so freaking right out of Fantastic Four, you know, the Mole Man popped up. It's not the Mole Man, but, you know, it's the Mole Man. That, you know, they had to go back and reshoot some stuff from the Fantastic Four. And Avi Arad, I can't believe I forget his name, but the dude who always got producing credits and stuff with Stan Lee and stuff. I saw an interview where they mentioned Incredibles to him. He just, you know, messed him up. So, but this was fantastic, and it was a riff. It was a love letter. Okay, this was inspired in part by Fantastic Four and everything of the '60s that Brad Bird grew up on and loved. Okay, so it was great, and I want you to look at their costumes here. All right, let me get up there. Yeah, hopefully this will show up right there. All right, red and black. All right, Fantastic Four, blue and black. Okay, no big deal. Now, like I said, this was inspired by the Fantastic Four. And then James Robinson today, as of, you know, this year and stuff, James Robinson's coming out with All New Invaders. He's also coming back with a relaunch of the Fantastic Four. And the freaking costumes are red and black. And that's why I have a problem, okay? Disney bought Marvel. Marvel, you know, owns Fantastic Four, which means Disney does. And Disney owns Pixar. And they can't get a sequel out of Brad Bird for The Incredibles. You cannot tell me. I'm not yelling conspiracy theory. You can't tell me they were like, make them blue and red. All right? Now, I know we're just talking about aesthetics, not story here and stuff like that, but it's kind of sad when the originator, the Fantastic Four, you know, has to go back and get costumes that look like they work at McDonald's. Not that there's anything wrong with working at McDonald's. I've done the fast food thing, you know, and all that stuff. And they go back to, and to me, we put red and black on them compared with this, you know, it's the Fantastic Four. I mean, this girl here, man, turned invisible, the daughter, all right? And then, you know, Mr. Incredible's the Thing, okay? Mom there, well, I can't remember her name. I'm going blank here, excuse me. I got distracted by all the Transformer stickers on the back of this. But anyway, you know, and then, you know, she was Mr. Fantastic. She had the stretching powers, and they threw him in. I always thought they threw him in like... looked like Johnny Quest and gave him super speed powers. Then the baby Jack at the very end of it, he finally flamed on. And I think he even had like a moment that looked like Silver Surfer, I'm not sure. You know, he's pretty much a shapeshifter and a whole bunch of different powers that he can't control. But, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not dissing either one, but it's just so unnecessary, you know. So unnecessary. You know, it's a family of superheroes. You know, that's what the Fantastic Four was. Family dynamics, bickering amongst each other, sibling rivalry, and all that stuff. So, yeah, that really does bother me, man, because the Fantastic Four, you know, it's great that the Avengers have took off, and it's great that the X-Men ruled and all that stuff, but, you know, there was a time where the Fantastic Four was the world's greatest comic magazine. You know, I'm even putting aside who did what, man, but, you know, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby kind of set the bar. They passed out those pages, the Fantastic Four, to all the other artists to make them have the Marvel feel, the Kirby pencils, you know. The Fantastic Four was it. Thing had, you know, he was Marvel 2-in-1. He was so, you know, they gave him his own title in the 80s and stuff. And Thing's always been there. And, you know, here I go rambling. But I think you get my point. It really bothers me. Really bothers me. So, not to bum out on it stuff, things move on. I know the costumes will change. Marvel seems to be relaunching everything. It seems like once a year now. Marvel now, and then Marvel now, and then, when they get another editor-in-chief again, it'll be another relaunch and stuff. So, and that's not the end of the world. I know things will go back, but, really, I mean, original, inspired by. Why do you want to, mix them up? So if I want the Incredibles, give me an Incredible comic book. So from here on out, I want to call them the Incredible Fantastics, or should it be the Fantastic Incredibles? Let's hope it feels like the Fantastic Four again real soon. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for listening, man. All right, go eat some candy. I got some homemade candy. Get some more homemade candy. And I got a bunch of junk to put on video that I bought over the last month. So have a good weekend.